Hello student, we are in a new chapter called Journal. In this chapter, we will discuss the journal entries for various transactions. Now in this video, we will learn about the meaning of journal and the format of journal. Let's begin with meaning of journal. Journal is a book in which transactions are recorded in chronological order. What is the meaning of chronological order? That is the order in which the transaction takes place. So we first do the recording of the transaction in the book which is called journal. And while we record transactions, we make sure that we record it in chronological order. That is the order in which the transaction itself takes place. Now, since the transaction is first recorded in the journal is called Book of Original Entry. So, journal is called the Book of Original Entry. How do we record the transaction in the journal? The transaction is recorded in the journal on the basis of voucher. What is voucher? A voucher is a document that evidences a transaction. For example, invoice, receipt, cash memo, debit note, credit note. So all these are vouchers raised for certain specific transactions. So on the basis of the voucher which has been raised, the transaction is recorded in the journal and therefore it is called Book of Original Entry. That is the book in which transactions are first recorded. Let's check out the format of journal. On top of the journal, you need to write in whose books you are preparing the journal. It could be in the name of some company or firm or sole proprietorship. So in the books of that specific entity, we need to write the name of the entity. And we are preparing the journal. Journal has 5 columns. The first column is date. Second column is particulars. Third column is ledger folio, abbreviated as LF. The fourth column is debit. And the fifth column is credit. We need to write under the date column the date in which the transaction has taken place. In the particulars column, we will first write the name of the account which we need to debit. And below that, we will write to the name of the account which we need to credit. So it could be cash account debit to interest account. So cash account is debited to interest account is credited. Or it could be salaries account debit to cash account. So salaries account is debited to cash account and cash account is credited. Below the accounts to be debited and credited, we need to write a short description of the transaction which is referred to as narration. So the narration, which is the description of the transaction, will be written below the accounts to be debited and credited. In the LF column, we need to write the page number of the ledger in which the account which is debited is posted and the account which is credited is posted. Under the debit column, we need to write the amount which has to be debited, and in the credit column, we need to write the amount which has to be credited. So this is the format of journal. So in this video, we saw the meaning of journal and the format of journal. In the upcoming video, we will have a look at sample transactions and the journal entries to be passed for each of the transactions.